I've been promising to make a video for the last few days of the new LPG system and the old LPG. This is the old system. It's there's quite a few shadows here. In fact, I'll move out the shadows. It's been a real mess. Let's just look inside the. Excuse the state of the boot here, but I've got all sorts of service equipment and there's a cover. There's the this is the tank. I'm not sure how many litres it is, to be honest. So it's probably about 40 litres. It's mounted over the back axle. That's the LPG tank. That was already in the car when I bought it. And this old system. Let me just move around out of the shadows. It's quite bright here. Typical Brighton day. You know, it's extremely bright. We're just maybe 50-60 metres from the beach, so you can see the problem I'm going to have with the salt. But never mind. That's another story. Now this is the this is called the reducer. The gas is fed from the tank. This is mounted. I'll show you the new reducer, so it'll give you a sense of where this was originally mounted. And just about to get my bum clipped by a van. We'll just move. There we go. Try again. Sorry. Okay, so this is mounted on the inner wing, under the bonnet. This is called the reducer, and that's quite an old one, as you can see. It's a bit mucky. I think, you know, it largely worked, but it was old and out of date. So the gas is fed in under pressure from the tank in the boot through this pipe. It's probably about 10 millimeters. And the other side of this, let's see, which way does it go? Yes, this side. No, it's that side, I beg your pardon. Somewhere on here there'll be a, can't find it. Ah, it's there. Water from the engine, from the cooling system is fed directly, hot water from the cooling system directly into that channel, which runs around this side. And then the cold gas, it's minus 50 degrees centigrade, goes through this 10 mil pipe and drops into the other side. It's kind of it's a very crude system, and it just the heat from the engine vaporizes that liquid gas, and when it vaporizes, it then follows through this pipe under quite some pressure, and it goes directly into this is the original airflow meter. It had been modified. This brass pipe has been added. That's not on the original. Which side does the air filter goes that side, so yeah, that's aiming towards the front of the car with the air filter, so it's beyond the air filter, so filtered air, and then you get a mixture of the gas goes in and through the airflow and into the engine that way. It's very strange. This is the jumbles of wires that have came out. What have we here? This is the old ECU for the gas, and I believe I'm not sure what that is. Now this red thing, that's an old alarm. That's probably at least 25 years old, so that was pulled out as well. It's a bit of a mess, but let's have a look at the new system. This is much more impressive. Now let's go round to the front here. Where are we? Now then, a lot of shadows here. It's so bright this morning. I'm struggling. I'm probably going to have to go back to the other side. So where are we? We've got a gas filter. So let me just. I've got so much bright light coming at me. I can't see. But yeah, this shiny thing here. That's the new reducer. It's really quite tiny. So the water from the engine goes in one side, and the gas is on the other side. It's just literally heat from the engine that causes this gas to vaporize. This is it's a shut-off valve, and it's got a filter under here, and that is vapor. So that filters the liquid gas under here. I'll show you from the other side. I'll go back to the other side. It'll be so much easier to see without these shadows. So yeah, we've got a filter to filter the liquid gas. It's then fed into the shiny piece here, the vaporizer, and it vaporizes, and the vaporized gas comes along here and it's filtered again. So vaporized gas goes along. Let's go around the other side. We might be able to see a little bit better. Gosh, this is awkward. Yes, there we go. So along the vaporized gas comes along here, and then these are the injectors. It's actually direct injection. It's not sort of the old system was very crudely fed. This is the airflow meter. This is the replacement, obviously, without the brass union. Where did it feed? Yes, the old one fed the pipe came across here, and instead of going into the injectors, it was fed directly into the inlet manifold, the air intake, just before, no, it's not the manifold, just before this airflow meter. But the new one, obviously, it leaves the air system completely alone. It's injected directly into these each single injectors. Now, it's the inlet manifold has been drilled. I don't know how good the light is here, but each of these rubber hoses they've been drilled and tapped before each cylinder. So we've got 6 of them. It's an amazing system, it really is. So it's completely measured. It's, you know, on the old system it was not measured, it was just under pressure and it was either on or it was off. But this it's a completely measured amount. And one of the real beauties of this, LPG doesn't have the additives to prevent engine wear of regular petrol. And I've had this fitted. This is called valve saver, and that's a fine oil, and the oil is pumped. There's a little pump here with a solenoid, so the oil's pumped directly into the fuel injection rail, the LPG fuel injection, that is, not the petrol. The petrol injectors are right here below it, and a measured amount of this very fine oil is drawn into each of the injectors and directly into the valve gear. Now, if that little oil tank runs low, the solenoid switches off and it completely shuts off the LPG system. You can't run this LPG system without the valve lube or the valve saver. It can't, you know, this engine can't be run on LPG without that extra oil. The old system could, and you can easily get valve wear. I believe this engine's been less than 8,000 miles on the original system, so I'm not too worried that there's previous wear. But it's a fantastic system. I'm so pleased with it. And the remarkable thing is the unbelievable sort of fuel consumption. On petrol, this car, it's a big old XK engine, it's a 4.2 engine, it's a heavy car. You know, you average about 15 to the gallon, to be honest. You're driven carefully, driven hard, you'll be in single figure fuel consumption on petrol. It is a thirsty thing. And that's why it's necessary to really, if you're going to do a lot of mileage, have this conversion. Now, I did 200 miles a couple of days ago, and it only cost me £23.15 to do 200 miles in this whole thing on motorway. Obviously, the gas is an awful lot cheaper. It's less than half price of petrol here in the UK, but this system is just so much more efficient. I haven't worked out roughly what this car must have been doing to the gallon on LPG, but you do get a far more efficient burn on LPG. Ah yes, while we're around this side, I forgot to point out, this is the new ECU for the LPG system, and it's either running off that ECU or, do you know, I'm not sure where the it's under the steering wheel in the footwell near the original ECU. So it's a beautiful system, and sorry if I'm a little sort of confused and not explaining it very well, but I can perhaps make another video if I watch this back and realise that I've really not explained this very well. But I'm going to take this car for another drive, and you know, just enjoy it so much. With this, I can actually afford the fuel costs. You know, usually when you're driving an old Jag like this, heavy mileage, 15 miles to the gallon or less, quite honestly, there's very little money left in the pot for maintenance. So running the car on LPG, you know, I'll be able to afford to keep on top of the maintenance properly on this thing as well. The engine does look a bit of a mess. It's in very original condition. It's filthy, it's corroded. Yeah, over the months I will detail this, and you know, with this bit's all beautiful and shiny, I'll make the rest of it look, you know, I'll make the rest of it match, but that's the least of my worries at the moment. I've got a lot of things to sort out on this car. But I'll speak to you in the next video anyway. Well, let's see if this video makes sense. I might end up having to make another one. We'll see.